Fire Bear. It's Tuesday night, so of course that means we're playing Remnant Shadow, our Star Wars actual play. I'm your game master for the evening, Jason. And with me as usual is... I think I see what you mean now, Jeremy, about people flipping around. I got Duba and Rappy flipped. Well, we'll take care of that in a second. We'll go ahead and do intros. So we've got Duba playing Doc. Rappy playing Keltzer. Eric playing Captain Irie. I don't know if I got that or not. Sarah playing Io, and Jeremy playing Ozen. And let's see.
You'll get it eventually.
Last session.
I am sure I will get it by, episode 40, whatever, that we end this on.
Yeah. Last episode.
There we go. Now I got Duba and Duba Square. Alright, who remembers where we left off last week?
We got a ton of information.
Mm-hmm.
You got a fair
True.
bit. You haven't had time to go through it all yet, but
No, we haven't. It's on the ship, and there's a probe.
well, I think it's in a device in your hand.
Yeah.
Because the ship has gone dark in orbit.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, there is an Imperial probe inbound. I believe it was just hitting atmosphere
Mhm.
when we wrapped up last session.
Yep.
Your Keelik buddy had been getting more and more agitated as the effects of whatever happens on this planet affected him more.
Mm-hmm.
I believe Oza had managed to temporarily calm him.
Yes. We figured out that, or she, doing it herself, was like, oh, this does work.
So he is not 100% back to normal necessarily, but completely under his own control.
Mm-hmm.
So what is your plan for getting off this planet? Or for avoiding the probe? As far as you know, the probe is here by itself. At least R2 had not spotted any actual Imperial ships.
No, there's a probe. So GTFO?
Probably safest bet. Do we bring the ship down and try and avoid the probe, or...
That's the thing. I neither Ozen nor Jeremy particularly know how a probe actually works, and if there's ways to circumvent, being around it.
Was there any, when we initially got to this planet, was there anything that would have blocked any kind of scanning from like a basic probe?
Well, this is one of the probe droids, so it's going to land and search around. So it basically staying out of its view will help to some degree.
Gotcha.
It won't be able to positively identify what you are. It might detect movement on the other side of that wall, but that'd be about it.
Oh, so it's land-based.
Yeah, now it's coming in like a little,
Sure.
device or pod or whatever.
So it's to use a real world sense, it's kind of like a Land Rover.
Well, it's one of the probes from Empire Strikes Back. The little kind of floating around one.
What the dog doing?
What the dog doing?
But it will undoubtedly detect the city fairly quickly. much like y'all spotted it, is the only like major like construction site on the planet.
Knowing what we know about it, and knowing what we know about the locals, could the Killiks fairly easily destroy this probe?
Beat it up with spears.
There's a possibility that they could bash it apart. On the other hand, these things are armed and they can fly, so if they caught it by surprise, sure. If it saw them coming, it just floated out of their reach and blast them.
How big is it?
That's an interesting question. And I can't really judge from the picture. I believe it is bigger than a person.
Okay. So just like about the size of a small car.
Nope. It measures 1.6 meters high.
Oh no, that's
It looks
tiny.
taller because it's got the dangly limbs up under it when it's floating around.
Sure. Okay, then it's tiny. Size of a small child.
It's got the multiple eyes on that rotating upper disc part.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, it's got its own broadcast antenna. So it is constantly broadcasting back whatever it has found.
Somebody pull off the antenna. Oh wait, that's probably going to be me. Just
and it will undoubtedly start broadcasting as soon as it hits the atmosphere. So
We should get out before it gets in.
you can try.
all right, where are y'all heading to?
Can the ship just land right in? Can the ship land in town? Was there anything like particularly stopping it?
There's not a whole lot of areas wide open enough for the Rubicon to sit down.
Okay. I absolutely keep like in my head misinterpreting how big it is because I keep forgetting it's straight up a transport, just ginormous. It's not like our ship. It's not like our ship in Esper Genesis, which was like much smaller.
Yeah, the Rubicon's probably a little bit bigger than the roustabout was.
Yep.
But there's a couple of places on the outskirts of town that were clearly set up like spaceports, where they were landing, where they could land things. And of course, plenty of open ground once you get outside.
So, say we get coordinates transmitted. I mean, that's up to the captain. It's the captain's call.
Trying to decide. So it's going to start transmitting as soon as it hits the atmosphere?
Probably.
Yes, more most likely. And it was hitting the atmosphere when we wrapped up last.
Okay.
Should we have it land a bit out of town? That way, if it comes this way, it's not seeing a bunch of us get into a giant ship.
That'd be best, probably.
Alright, so are y'all broadcasting to R2 to tell him where to land?
I mean,
Yeah.
we'd have to. We wouldn't have a choice in the matter.
I kind of feel like I'm going to give it a bit for it to. I feel like giving it a bit to land first and then transmitting might be a play because even if it knows where the ship is, like it won't be able to get there in time. Versus transmitting, and then and then it's in the air and it can like adjust course or something. That's Jeremy's idea. Ozen is like, I'll just do whatever.
All right, Captain. What orders are you giving R2? Wait for a little bit and then come down. Come down immediately.
He'll actually wait to see, because if the computer in the control room we're in is tracking the probe, he'll wait to see if it's coming towards the city or away from the city.
Once the delivery system made orbit, it had done an orbit of the planet about like y'all had done, and the probe has been launched toward the city.
Oh, so it is coming this way.
Correct.
Okay.
Like this is the only city on the planet, so
sure, but it's like no matter. So it's like no matter what, then we're running from this bitch. So yeah.
Let's get going.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is there any way to, I guess, warn the computer? I guess. Would that be even a thing?
It is not a self-aware computer.
Okay.
It's not like you got a droid brain running this or anything.
It doesn't have to be self-aware. You can program
like a lockout on it or something.
Yeah.
Because she's copied whatever she could. She's gonna roll something to kind of lock it out. That way, even if they do get here, it buys them some time.
Okay.
Yeah.
And she would have probably started this as soon as it hit Atmo, because she would figure what's coming this way.
Mm-hmm.
And since we still have the 2 force points, because planet. $55.
Okay. You think you
A lot
got it
of
locked
ones
down?
in there.
You think you got it locked down as well as you can?
Yeah.
A probe droid certainly shouldn't be able to get in.
The probe droid too much.
Consider even you probably couldn't have gotten in without having force users here to kind of activate the system.
Okay, she's ready to go.
Okay. So y'all hustle out of the building.
My lightsaber up.
Not with a probe droid landing. It can see you.
I said I put it up.
Oh, I thought you said you light it up.
No. I said I put it up specifically because there's a probe droid coming.
Hey, what's that light over there?
Oh.
All right, so y'all begin hustling through the streets. Now, are you having R2 land on the side of the city that y'all came in on, or one of the?
On whatever side is opposite of where the drone is landing.
Okay, that's fair.
Probably even when moving, try and keep to areas that won't reveal as much of our footprints, because with it just being Killix, a bunch of boots tramping around.
Alright, so y'all start making your way through the city. Been moving at a pretty good pace for about 15 minutes. When you start hearing some commotion from up ahead of you.
Oh no.
Does it sound Killicky?
Oh, give me perception.
Ooh, can I get in on this?
Yeah, any of y'all can do this one.
Nah,
Hey.
that's not rolling right.
I rolled 18 on my perception.
10.
Okay.
I got a 7. Excuse me.
All right, so we've got a 7. We've got a. What'd you get, Jeremy?
I got 18.
Okay. Rappy?
13.
Duba?
I apologize, sir. What do I need to roll for you?
Perception.
Perception, sure. One moment.
Oh, I should probably roll for your little Killick buddy, too.
Stop.
He got lower than most of y'all.
Oh, we both got 18. You've rolled a damn Yahtzee.
Nice. It's the roll of the beast.
I won't be able to do that again for a hot minute.
Oh, that attitude.
But so the rest of you just hear a little commotion. You can't really make out anything specific about it. Ozan and Doc, you are both certain that it's Keelix.
Great.
Sounds like they may be smashing some stuff. Ozan, you're pretty sure you're hearing a little bit of speech, but they're far enough away you're not really making out individual words.
Sure.
It's more just kind of a crowd grumbling.
That's the crowd. A crowd of Keelik. Maybe we avoid them. Let them battle royale each other, and like that's fucked up. But also, there's nothing I can do about it. This is above my pay grade.
But you know that you can calm Keelix.
I can't do it en masse.
You don't know if he'll try. But all right, so y'all are going to try to avoid him.
I think so. Yes. Unless someone else wants to do something else.
Yeah, I think that's what we're gonna probably try to do.
All right. Who in your group is the worst at sneaking and hiding?
Oh Jesus. I'm at 4 dice.
I am at 4 as well.
4 as well.
4.
I want to say Doc is probably 3.
Probably.
Well, let's look
Yeah.
Doc up right quick.
Trying to see where that sneak is.
It's
Hide
in
sneak
perception.
is under perception.
Yeah,
so.
perception. It's 3D.
Yep.
So I'm the worst at it.
All right.
By
So
8 dice.
So you give me your roll versus one of the Twi'leks, one of the Killiks.
Weird place for Twi'leks to be, but sure.
It is a weird place for Twi'leks to be.
It really is.
Any Twi'lek that found themselves here should really be questioning their life decisions.
Trust me, she is.
All right, I got an 8. What did you get, Duba?
7.
Oh no.
All right.
I just every time you mention like a mob, I just picture the South Park. Grab.
That's accurate.
All right.
They got a nice fountain and
Yeah. Ignore the labels on the buildings. They're just buildings.
but the fountain.
And most of the buildings are. The fountain is dry at the moment, I'm afraid. And most of the buildings are sealed up. So the crowd you hear is over here. So you lot start kind of sneaking around this way. And Doc, you stick your head out just a little too far, and a passing band of Keelix, one of them notices you, and what you hear is just he starts clicking very loudly at his compatriots.
Boy.
You know, and they start kind of forming up to move towards y'all. Basically, you avoided one group and kind of rounded the corner into another one. That's essentially what's happening here. Now, you can engage them or you can try to run away from them. Though if there's multiple bands running away from them, you might again round the corner into another band of them. But now's the time to make the decision, because the Keelix have definitely decided what they're doing.
If Doc can, he's gonna at least try to get away. And, hope for the best that he doesn't find a second band.
Yeah, I think GTFO is the plan.
Alright. And how far can y'all moving around?
I think it was 5 squares.
Yeah, 5 squares was your regular movement. And then you could choose... if you use your movement and your action, you could get 10. And the Achilles movements vary between 10 and 12.
Oh, so there's no getting away from them anyway.
Well, what I'd be letting y'all do is roll sneak hides as you're trying to, duck around corners or whatever. Again, your Killick buddy, who I should have rolled for now, think about it, doesn't seem to be all that sneaky. And, droids are not by nature especially sneaky.
Yeah. I really don't want to use the force because if that probe's coming, if that probe's nearby.
It's not going to detect you using the force.
I don't know that. Well, you said all these buildings are empty, or are they? Yeah, you said they're all empty, or do they have detritus in them?
They are sealed shut for the most part.
Gotcha.
I'm just saying, on the map, don't pay attention to what's inside the building. Just worry about the street.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. But if they're sealed, they're sealed. That's fine.
Yeah, well, I mean, you've got a key that'll open about any door in the Star Wars universe, so, if you really wanted to get in one.
I wanted to take 5 minutes and go.
So anyway, what are you doing? Fight, run, or item? What are you doing? Nobody play Final Fantasy? Well, the old.
No. Yep.
I mean, Doc's gonna at least try to run.
Yeah, I'll run with Doc, and we'll maybe go 5. We'll go 5 hide and see if that works.
All right, give me a sneak hide.
Alrighty.
Are the rest of you following Doc and Ozen?
Perception. I thought I rolled a sneak that last round. Sir, please stop.
Is this closed door?
Yes.
They're all sealed, from what I understand. I rolled 15 on sneak.
Got a 13
Better.
on my
That's
sneak.
much better, Doc. Okay.
I'm green and I'm wearing brown. I'm gonna hop into these bushes and hide.
All right. Hey, there's a lot of and all the anything you see as bushes is particularly overgrown.
That's amazing. Just jump in like they can't see me.
You know what? Doc's gonna follow the captain's initiative.
13.
I think Ozin will just hide where he is, and it's like you didn't see me. Or she'll like someone gets nearby, is like, you didn't see me. That's how she gets her sneak hide roll.
All right, so you're just stepping around the corner and into the bushes, Ozin.
Yeah, more or less. Or like around those steps where they are, right there.
Okay.
Just
Io, what are
like
you doing?
hunkering down.
She is going to find a place to kind of. This one's sealed up, correct?
Yes.
That one I just make sure pings. This one's sealed up. How tall is this right here?
Let's see. Would have started off as like kind of hedgerow height or whatever.
Has it become
And
overgrown?
now it's just kind of overgrown and bushed out.
Okay, she is gonna kind of put herself right over there. Actually, more inside of it than anything.
Okay. They're all like little kids hiding in the coat rack in a department store.
Yeah. Not like deep into it enough. If they have to make a break, she's able to get out pretty quick.
Kelser, what is your plan?
Everybody's doing the whole hide thing.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. I
Guns
don't know where
blazing.
this
No,
is
I'm
going.
kidding.
I was like, she's
started
just gonna
blasting.
pull out 2 guns.
I started
Well,
blasting.
there's 5 of them, so I'm gonna take 5 shots.
Now I'm gonna trust in the force and take as many shots as I can. No.
No.
Oh, you heard of rapid fire, right?
Why do I imagine Kelser's hiding is just jetpacking up like 50 feet?
Right, just
Could
you
hide
don't
on the
see me.
roof.
But wouldn't the jetpack make noise and they'll hear it?
Well, they're already headed your direction, so they know there's somebody. They know there's somebody around that corner over there.
I'm gonna kind of see if I can move and jetpack over here on top of this roof.
Okay.
That's what I'm gonna do. I'll be on the roof up here.
Okay. So you don't get real high, so they can't like see you over the other building. They would certainly hear it fire off, and then your Killick buddy is going to run up here, and he just sort of freezes. It's like he's looking around trying to figure out what he's going to do. All right, so they round the corner and they start running.
I was literally holding her breath.
That guy didn't say nothing.
It does have a hand on her lightsaber just in case, but she's just.
So they round the corner, and your Killick buddy turns and looks at him. And the rest of you just hear him, he's clicking and squealing kind of loud. Ozen's, of course, the only one that can actually understand him. But he basically screams, "They went that way!" And then he charges down, back the way y'all came, basically.
One out for Clicky. He was a realist.
Grab those in by mistake there.
I was like, wait a minute.
Ozen's going with them.
Like the running of the bulls.
Mm-mm-mm.
So he leads them down that pathway. So it's a little bit of silence, and you can hear this other group over here doing something over there.
To say I'll like very gingerly creep around the corner here and look. Is there anyone else in that little area, in like coming up from this direction over here?
Okay, give me a search.
Hell yeah. Yeah. X. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 26, 27.
All right, you do not see anybody coming from down this way. The guys up here are. Some of them are beating on some of the doors. It's like they check to see if any of the doors can be easily gotten open. And then when they can't be, they move on. You know, like you guys can't be hiding in there if you know.
Sure.
You can hear some of them talking. They are definitely looking for you.
Yep.
They are looking for the off-worlders. And while they're scuffling and fighting with each other a little bit, they seem to be pretty focused on you.
Gotcha.
You are the other.
We are the other. All right. Then Ozen will like kind of poke her head back towards her allies that she has a general idea of where they went off to, especially I would assume with that role. I think she sees all of her allies. It's just like try to usher us forward and continuing onward.
Okay. Well, now if you step around this corner, you're going to be out in kind of view of these guys.
Where?
You know, unless you up to the north part of the map.
I don't see. Oh, those guys are like surrounded by buildings. I'm not coming this way just yet. I'm just like I'm moving slower than that. I'm going like over here.
Okay, yeah. Y'all can definitely group over here without any trouble. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I was planning. Just like moving like here-ish at most, and just everyone like comes this way.
All right, does everybody follow Ozen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That bush that the captain's by also overgrown that he can just kind of slip in there.
Yeah, because all the greenery is
tree.
badly overgrown.
Yay. I am a tree.
I'll very quietly like stage whisper towards Ayrton and just be like, they're definitely looking for us. They're looking for the off-worlders.
Lovely.
I keep listening in and seeing if they're like, so they're moving up, moving down, moving all around.
They continue to move kind of north.
Northish? Okay.
So you wait there for a few minutes. They do eventually kind of cut to one side, down one alleyway or something, around the corner of the road, whatever. You wait a little while and they're out of sight.
Maybe, baby. Quinn.
Oh, there's nothing in there.
Sorry.
Afraid you have a cat push something off.
Cat tried to eat lick milk out of the cereal I just had emptied out.
I just started looking and I didn't know what was in the bowl. It wasn't.
I got a fluff butt.
I think the next thing Oza does is like sneaks this way and looks this way to see if anyone's coming.
Okay, looks clear at the moment.
Here at the moment. And then the north has been cleared out at this point.
Yeah, they've wandered. They've wandered on further north.
All right. Then yeah, Ozin will. Like I said, this is gonna be minus the part where she is humming her own theme song. This is just Kronk hiding.
Mm.
It's like,
Pressed up against the wall. What do you think?
Yep.
Walk by.
Yep. But I think the next place she goes before she starts like actively scouting is like over here, by the, like just around some steps, like she did last time.
All right, so Ozin is kind of leading the way, scouting more or less.
Yeah.
You know.
Not great at hiding, really good at seeing things. Usually.
Okay. All right, then give me another search check.
What check? Search?
Search, yes.
All right.
This is something you are actively doing.
Yes. A lower roll, but still pretty good. 15, 16, 18.
Okay. You managed to lead the party, or lead the crew, to words aren't working all of a sudden. You keep leading the party. You manage to avoid a few more groups of Killiks.
Ozin's had experience avoiding people having been a Jedi in an Empire-controlled territories.
There seems to be several of these like groups just wandering around, not super organized. You've seen groups split up. You've seen a couple of groups run into each other, and there's a little bit of scuffling and stuff, and then they kind of move on.
It's like they make their own mosh pits.
But as you get closer to the edge of town, there's a particularly large group trying to get into one of the, one building. This building's a little more damaged than some of them you've seen. Which a lot of them at the further edges of town were in rougher shape. But this guy manages to smash in a window and crawl in there, and you hear noises going on. And then there's an explosion.
Ooh.
You don't know what they got into. And it doesn't like blow the roof off or anything. But it blows out the other windows, knocks a few of the Killiks closest to the building down.
I think that's our cue. Come on.
Yeah, they are definitely distracted where you don't see them, or where they're not paying any attention to you.
Mm-hmm.
So you start to slip past them. You get a couple blocks away, and you hear the sound of repulsors, like repulsor lifts.
Do I get a beat on it?
Give me a search roll.
Yeah. Ooh. $26.
18. Just to be using the same map, let's say you're effectively like here on a road somewhere. What you're hearing is like coming over the top of this building over here, across the road from you.
It's small.
Oh yeah, it's definitely not like a ship or anything.
Yeah. That's kind of what I was getting at. Is like, am I getting at like, especially with that roll, is like rough size.
Yeah, definitely not a ship or even a speeder, probably. But it's drifting towards you. As it gets closer, you hear the occasional like beeping. What you gonna do?
God, that's annoying. Is everyone like directly behind me or behind me in a way where I can communicate without using the comm unit?
I'm going to say they're like around the corner from you. You know, about like the figures are currently set up.
I think the droid's in the area. Be careful.
You keep hearing it get closer.
I'm actively going to hide as it sounds like it gets closer.
Okay.
Would we know if it has thermal scanning?
Nope, I don't. So Ozin goes like, say here, and hunkers down real low.
Does Io have
That's-
anything droid related, skill wise? I know she's got technology.
Let me pull the sheet back up. It froze.
I've got your sheet pulled up. Droid programming and repairing. Security. Knowledge technology. Give me a knowledge technology roll. Alright, so an 11 is an easy.
It's rolling at -1. Ah. I know now. I fix it. About 14, actually.
Okay, so 14.
Oh, you rolled a d5.
You rolled a d5.
I'm keeping the 3.
Fair enough. Alright. You're pretty sure the baseline models don't have thermals. Their optics and audio sensors are actually kind of within the human range. Then in addition to that, they got like telescopic and microscopic. Let's see.
Is this a window or a door or just a wall?
That is a window.
This would be a door, probably.
Yes.
And all of it's pretty much no power, no nothing, locked up.
Yeah, everything's powered down.
I have a stupid idea.
Oh well, first
I'll-
have you rolled your? Give me a sneak
haven't
hide,
yet.
and it will roll its perception.
14.
Oh, it's got an extended range on its audio sensors. I wonder why they listed that separately from before. I guess it hears within the human range, but at a greater distance. Alright, 12, 22, 23, 24, 25.
Oof. Whoa. Yeah.
And what did you get, Ozen?
Not that. 14. So not doubled at least.
It rolled, 2 6s, 2 5s, and a 3, so. So you hear it beeping, you hear the top part of it rotate around. Maybe it didn't get a great view of you, maybe it just saw motion, but it definitely starts drifting down in this direction.
As it gets to where it's about to like put its optical sensors on me, I'm going to force pull it forward or force pull it towards me and just say now.
Everybody else goes, what?
Yeah,
Yeah.
now what?
Oh, we started blasting.
Yeah, that's the idea.
Yeah, I mean,
Fair, yeah.
That's the idea.
I mean,
All
if
right.
Ozen is yanking it towards them with the force, then
Alright, we won't bother with the regular initiative thing, because
we don't really have a choice.
either this little sneak attack works or it does. You know, if it doesn't work,
Yeah.
then we'd fall into a regular combat.
that's kind of what I'm getting at. I am trusting in the Force for this thing. I know it's tiny, comparatively, but it's still. This needs to work to her.
All right, and what do you have to roll to make this work?
All right. Let's see. It's sized. It's a size thing, so let's see. I have to bring this up every time. It is. Back mine. Where the hell did it go? There it is. How heavy would you say this thing is? I've got very easy for 1 kilogram or less, easy for 1 to 10 kilograms, moderate for 11 to 100 kilograms, difficult for 101 to a metric ton. And I don't
Probably
think it's
moderate.
getting heavier to that. All right. So 6, 12, 18, 4, 7, 8. I rolled 33.
Okay. I'm going to let it resist with its strength.
Sure. I believe it. Let me see. There is a resistance.
Oh, okay. What does the resistance say?
It is actually perception or control, so it's much better. It's a much better roll for the thing, probably.
Yep. I don't know. Its strength isn't sorry. It's just not as big. All right. 12, 17, 23.
Okay. 23 plus. No, I rolled. Oh fuck! I have to count it again.
Yeah, you had trusted in the Force, though.
I rolled 33.
All right. And what was the baseline number you needed was moderate?
Yeah.
All right. So you had to have a 15. 15 plus.
I don't think I get there, unfortunately.
You had what, a 23, I believe, plus 15.
Yeah, that's like just under 40.
All right, so it jerks forward just a little bit before it manages to, before you hear the repulsors kind of wind up and pulls itself back.
Great.
So we are slipping into regular combat. I've already got everybody in the list. Doc, what are you doing? I think you're muted.
Am I? Test
You were.
test.
Not anymore.
Now you're fine. So Ozan said, you saw Ozan do a weird thing with her hands and yelled now, and then the droid just sort of barely wobbles into view.
Well.
All right, so Doc's a blasting.
We ain't got an option now.
All right. The droid finishes coming around that corner and is going to try to blast. He has 2 blasters. He is going to fire one of them at Ozan.
Okay. That's fair.
And one of them at Doc, because it sees Doc coming up with a gun. It is only going to take the 2 shots. Let's see, your Killix buddy is no longer here. Io.
I started blasting.
Alright, Cap.
Yeah, he's gonna shoot with the with his rifle.
Okay.
Although I will say he's going to try to hit it to where he shuts the droid down. Like hits a system that basically shorts out and shuts down the droid, try not to do catastrophic damage to it. And yes, I will trust in the Force to do that if I have to.
Give me a technology roll.
Okay.
And this is going to be difficult.
All right. I said I was going to trust in the Force, so I'm going to do it.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
Could an argument be made for droid repair, since knowing what damages it knows what fix it?
My technology is actually better, but
Never mind.
yeah. 36.
Okay.
That beats difficult.
It does indeed. You think you know somewhere that they could do that.
Yeah.
Now you're trying to like short it out so it's like temporarily stunned.
Yes.
Okay.
Because part of the kit that Ayura has is he still has his droid customization kit, which includes remote programming receivers, neural pathway linkage data pads, and a memory wipe module.
Okay. Is
You're
that
giving
something
him a solo droid, so
Is that something that he would have carried with him down into the jungles to explore ruins?
no, but it is on the ship. So if he shuts it down with the shot and he can get it to the ship, he can do that on the ship.
Oh, okay, I got you. All right, so you'll be taking that shot.
Going to take the wounded puppy back home and heal it.
Basically. And he will say, as part of that, he'll say, try not to destroy it. I've got plans.
And Keltzer.
Start a blast.
Listen, rolls her eyes.
Just once though.
You're just taking one shot.
Because the captain wants to keep it so badly.
All right, take your shot.
Hey, it skipped me.
Did we?
Yes. I had the sneak attack thing, but then I didn't get a proper
You're right.
turn.
I talked about Cap and then jumped right past you. All right, Ozen, what are you doing?
God. I think Ozen's going to if we're trying not to destroy it, I think I'm going to clip the legs with her lightsaber. Just
Okay.
It's floating.
yeah.
It's got 4 little grabby arms plus the 2 blasters.
I'll try to.
So it's got limbs aplenty. All right, then, Kelser, take a shot. The droid will, of course, be dodging.
Huh?
I said the
droid's
droid
gonna
is,
be
of course,
dodging.
going to try to dodge your shot.
Dodge all the things.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm sure he can't dodge them all, but he's going to try to dodge Armando.
Sure.
25.
All right, and you're at short range. So the base of what you need is a 10 plus what he rolls. So 23, you hit.
Roll damage.
26.
What was that?
26.
It got a 12.
So I doubled.
Yep. All right, so you doubled. All right, so it's incapacitated. Is that -2 dice? Ozen.
That's 25.
Okay. He's going to attempt to melee parry.
Mm.
Well, actually, you said you were going for his limbs, weren't you?
Mhm.
So yeah, never mind. 25 hits.
Okay. 9.
Now, if you're specifically going for a limb,
Uh-huh.
this won't really be doing overall damage to him. You know, one of his limbs will just go flying.
Well, I'm more trying to like ground the thing, and then like that's how I had it in my head.
When it flies by repulsor lift, so it
I
doesn't
wasn't
have
sure if the
legs.
repulsor's long, but
It's just got the. It's part of the main body.
okay. Then yeah, we'll just all right. That's 18, 19. 34 points of damage.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely doesn't resist that. So yeah. But the two grabby arms closest to you go flying in opposite directions. And the droid kind of squeals. All right, Captain.
And then with my movement, I would have rushed to the other side so as not to like be immediately perceived. Still trying to be like a blur so that they cannot get a good beat on me. Just they know there's a Jedi. Which one is it?
Uh-huh. All right, Captain, what you doing? You may be muted.
No, he's muted.
Yeah, I was. Sorry. Okay, yeah, no, it's within point blank range for me. Okay.
Oh yeah, you got like the sniper rifle.
Yeah. $31.
Okay, that's definitely a hit. Go ahead and roll your damage.
24. And it gets a -2 to resist the damage. Minus 2d to resist the damage.
All right. It got a 4.
Mm-hmm.
And how much damage did you do?
I did 24. So I
6
multiplied
times.
it by 6.
Yep. The lights go off and it just kind of thunks down the ground.
All right, Ozen, you cut him off. Get the arms. Keltzer,
Okay.
get the body. We're getting to the ship.
Push the body off of its limbs and grab them.
It's about like carrying an R2 unit.
It's not so bad. Huh. Now that I've seen like the basic shape of this thing, it kind of reminds me of the ones in Jedi Fallen Order, but those things were about the size of the protagonist.
With the dangly bits, it could be.
Yeah, I think that's really what it was.
Yeah, when you count the dangly bits as part of the height, then it
What droid is this? The Viper? The probe bot thing?
The Viper class probe droid, yes.
Okay.
Well, the one I got pulled up is a Viper class dwarf probe droid, so it may be a little smaller than the movie one.
Okay. Yeah, because I was looking on the holocron, and then there's Viper Probot and Probot Hyperdrive Pod, but
All right. So I'm assuming Ozen takes the lead again.
Yeah.
You manage to get to the outskirts of town. By the time you got to the outskirts of town, you were hearing some blaster fire.
Mm-hmm.
And as you approach the ship, there's a few dead Killiks laying around.
Do they have blasters?
No.
Okay.
R2.
It is not. It is not the
R2.
turret. It
Sounds
is.
like small arms.
It is Roger and BL standing out there shooting at
Okay.
anybody that approaches them.
Well,
Fair enough.
where to raise flag? All right. Oh, we
Before
run
we-
in.
Yeah. Before we take off, though, probably search the droid for any kind of tracking.
I can do that.
I'll help.
Yep.
Okay, give me a roll.
Okay.
Search.
20.
Okay. Oh yes, it would be search.
17.
It does not appear to have any external tracking devices on it. Now, you
Well,
gonna
this
take the
thing's
time
left
to like,
out.
open it up and look through its guts?
When we're on the ship, maybe.
Oh, she would like be using tools to scan it and stuff like that.
Okay. Yeah, nothing external. You get it on the ship. You scan it. It is not currently broadcasting a signal. You would be surprised if it didn't have some sort of tracking built into it some kind of way. But with the whole droid shut down, I'm going to assume that the captain basically shot it through its power generator or whatever.
Yep.
So when you plug it back in,
Yeah.
it may start broadcasting. So
Give a look of we are not plugging this in.
Not right now.
And once you have time to really go through it in detail, you might be able to find the broadcasting bit and turn it off or something, prior to powering it back up. But for the moment, it appears to be safe.
Okay. He'll get it stored and then start the procedures for liftoff.
R2 already had the engines warm.
Oh, goody.
So the whole reason
Yeah,
he wasn't in the turret was he was ready to take the ship off.
Right.
Basically, if y'all pulled an Indiana Jones running away from the locals into the biplane, they're ready to take off.
Yeah, in which case he will take off once he gets the probe droid stored.
BL's talking to Roger about how satisfying that was. Well, Roger's thinking they kind of reminded me of our makers. But y'all reach orbit without incident. You now only have 1 force point.
Before we leave, since the droid did, knowing what we know about the probe droids, that they send telemetry back. So there's a very good chance that whoever sent it knows we were there now.
Mm-hmm.
And knowing what we know about those stations that are watching the maw to keep what's her bucket contained, since it didn't give any names. So before we leave, the captain will call everybody together and so. I think we need to scorch earth that station before we leave. Just so the Empire can't get their hands on that data.
With how deep it goes, would we be able to?
Well, the main computer is on that top floor. Just need a direct strike there.
It doesn't say anything, but I think she
So
has
when
like a.
you dug through it, Io, did you happen to find any schematics to say where the main computer might have been?
Did she?
No, not of the stuff that you saw. I mean, you could potentially sit there and dig through your recorded data and see if you could find where that is.
Because I don't want to run the risk of the Empire finding that if those stations have to be there to keep something that is apparently some sort of galactic catastrophe contained. That's the last thing we want the Empire to be messing with.
I don't know. Leaving it a steaming crater would be just as bad.
I mean, they definitely know we were there. They wouldn't have access to it either.
Also potentially wipe out a good part of the Killick, so potentially. Just from the... I was just looking around seeing what other people are...
Ozin has a deep look of like even the thought of it kind of makes her unwell. Like that is probably the most pragmatic solution. But also I think the lockdown was like I think Ozin trusts in Io's ability to lock something down. I think that's is where her head's at.
As y'all are discussing this, you suddenly you hear a squeal out of R2 over the comms.
Yes.
An Imperial cruiser has jumped into the edge of the system.
Oh, we going.
Yep.
Can we send one last broadcast to that station?
Sure.
Captain will... Well, is Io the only one that has the access? Or did she, like, plug everybody else in, too?
Well, it took you and Ozin to kind of get the thing up and running, and then she was able to access it while y'all, were standing in there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The computer doesn't seem to really respond to non-force users.
Right. So we can send one more command then. The captain will send one message to the computer to say if any non-Keelik enters the station, release all of the animals.
Okay, you don't get a response back from the station.
Best he can do.
And the cruiser is beelining towards you. Like it's dropped out of hyperspace though. So they immediately start hailing you, demanding that you surrender.
Fuck you.
We gone.
You can see TIE fighters pouring out of the side. But yeah, they're too far away to,
Tractor beam us.
Yeah, he's
too far away to tractor beam you. And while they fire the turbo laser, it's too far away for them to really hit a moving target.
Yeah, and then he'll calculate a random spot and jump.
Just somewhere where we don't run into anything. All right, so y'all do a quick jump just out into interstellar space. still within the nebula, but
Yeah.
probably just a few light minutes away. Well, no, because light minutes would still have you in the system. Maybe a light hour away.
Yeah.
Well outside of the sensor ranges of the Imperial ship, so they'd have no idea where you jumped to.
Like right behind them, around the corner.
So you're just out of the dark of space, hoping the darkness will keep you safe.
We can honestly turn off systems and cruise here for a bit. While we figure out what we want to do.
I wouldn't turn it off if they jump back in. Putting it back up would take a second.
Come on now, you've already checked to make sure you're not, that the droid wasn't bugged.
Yeah, I don't trust it. For just sending a probe droid, they appeared really quick after the probe droid was disabled.
Well, it's not like they had much. They hadn't had time to get very far away. But all right, y'all are floating out in the interstellar void. What are y'all doing?
What do we do with all this information?
Take through it.
I mean, aside from that, are we... What's the end game?
I think the end game is make sure that whatever weapon or large arms that might have been on there stays away. We maintain balance in everything.
I don't know what the is here. We found the station, told us where those other stations are. And that's apparently where Centerpoint Station was made. So either we can go find something else to do, leave it up to the hands of fate, or we go investigate one of those stations at the mall, which sounds like a wonderful vacation spot. And hell if I know.
Now you've got a ton of information that you haven't sorted through yet.
Yeah.
Well, whoever we're talking about, I mean, she'll start sorting, but...
Just go through what you have. I'll plot another random jump to get a little farther away, and then I'm going to go play with my new toy.
All right, so a few more jumps. Are you going to end still just floating the void, or are you going to jump into a system?
Float the void.
Okay.
How are we doing on fuel?
Actually, yeah, that's a good question. How are we doing on fuel?
Let's see. You're basically filled up shortly before you.
We filled up
the nebula.
Yeah. Yeah, because we filled up when we stopped at that planet with the painter.
So you're still okay on fuel. You've still got the equivalent of half a tank.
Okay. Yeah, he'll stop in the void then.
And you know at what point okay, at this point we will have to leave the nebula out to some inhabited planet to refuel. And these little light jumps you're doing aren't burning up a whole lot of fuel.
Yeah. And then once he does that, and while Io sorts through her stuff, he's going to plug in all this stuff like the memory wipe for the droid, and first he's going to go in there and find out whatever that module is that beams data back to the Empire, or whatever
Yeah,
ship
there's no
it's
problem.
linked
You can unhook that from the antenna.
Throw it out the airlock.
Well, he's going to see if he can reprogram that to link it to the Rubicon, so we can use this droid as like a scout droid for the ship. That's his idea.
That would come down to a programming thing. The droid does not have a tracking device built into it. When it's active, it just sends out a signal of where it's at all times, much like it does with whatever it's seeing and hearing while it's scouting.
Yeah, I'm saying is he wants to, after he's done memory wiping it and basically clean slating it.
Oh yeah.
He wants to fiddle with that piece that was sending out that signal and beaming that data back to the Imperial ship it was linked to.
Oh yeah, you can definitely reprogram it where it's using whatever frequency band y'all use on the Rubicon.
Yeah, basically he wants to convert it from an Imperial scout droid to a Rubicon scout droid.
Yeah, that's not a big deal.
His plan.
That's just reprogramming a droid.
Yep.
Now, before you wipe its memory, do you download its memory?
Yes, he is going to download its memory.
So yeah, the last little bit it got was, coming down to the planet. It was scouting around. It was examining some of the Killiks, determined that they weren't of any significance. The explosion caught its attention. And the last little bit of footage you see, is it jerking, coming around the corner and getting a nice shot of Ozin right before Ozin blurs at it with a lightsaber. And then with the rest of y'all in the background, shooting at it.
Oh, yeah, so it very clearly saw all of us. Okay. Fair enough. So yeah, he'll download that, and then he'll wipe its memory and start reprogramming it.
Okay. Io, what kind of information are you specifically looking for in this big pile?
She would poll folks and be like, what in particular do you want me to start with? What is priority here? Because I got a lot of stuff to go through.
The other stations, I think, would be Ozin's vote.
She will start with that then.
Okay. When you look at the specific stations, of course, center point stations in the Corellian system, of course. The station in the mall, you get the coordinates for where it was placed. It would take some work to figure out where that would be at now, because the mall is a cluster of black hole stuff. It's hard to maneuver in. The other one, the one that's here in this nebula, you get the coordinates for the planetary system that it's in, that it's basically been parked in. And just like the painting had implied, it's a system with a blue star. It was one of those that y'all already had mapped out, to be, the possible ones to search.
Yep. Is it? So that's the closest one. That's probably the one the Empire's actively searching for.
And in that system, it is in orbit around a moon.
It's not likely they're gonna make it through the maw to head that way. Possible, I guess, but not likely. So maybe the one that's orbiting around the moon here is the play here.
The one over there around the moon is the one that was essentially the prototype. for Centerpoint Station.
Mm-hmm.
Where the one in the mall is much smaller than either one of these stations.
Oh, okay. So
and it's just kind of like one in this kind of 3-station relay thing, because they're all linked together and keeping everything. There's some redundancy built in. Any one of the stations can go down; the other two will keep functioning.
Mm.
But you now know what system the local station is in.
Mm-hmm.
I think deactivating the prototype, if that means destroying it or however we have to go get around that, is the idea here. You're muted, buddy.
Their tech seems to respond to you and me. Maybe we could move it.
Yeah, but do you want to move it into the mall?
Just move it elsewhere. Out into the void.
Only one way to find out.
Okay, what are you guys gonna do with this information?
In the schematics, now that we have location, or in all of the files, I guess Ozone would ask Io, does it talk about ways to take them out? It says that they have contingency plans, but does it say straight up how this is how you dismantle this?
Searching for dismantling techniques.
But the specific schematics of the stations were in a secure section that IO could not access.
Gotcha. Okay.
So you can't get plans to like rebuild one of these things, or
does it say what happens if all three go out?
Containment will breach. If 2 of the 3 go down, lovely. Containment will breach.
How lovely. Does it mean it just seals off everything in the stations? Or is that all it says and we're left to find out what that means?
Well, the 3 stations working together is what keeps the mall stable.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
She would be free.
And the mall would become unstable. But...
Yeah.
But 1 is fine, as far as we know.
Yeah, there's a built-in redundancy. There's 3 of them, so if 1 goes down, there's still something to keep it going.
Okay.
You know, presumably, so the siblings could come out and fix the first one.
Yeah.
But you have no knowledge of where this family is now. So.
Yeah.
I think you muted again, Eric. It's a very dramatic hand gesture, though.
Same before we get visited by the going, what are you doing with our stuff?
Bad guys are trying to get it.
Yes, that's why we left it there.
I mean, the captain's all for going to find the one in the nebula.
Okay. Do you want to get out of the nebula and notify anybody?
I think this is our dance.
Yeah. He does not like CorpSec very much now.
However, we can notify CorpSec in such a way that we can pit them against the Empire and keep the Empire off our backs.
Well, last y'all heard, the Empire was full-on invading CorpSec, so...
Yeah.
Oh, well, they're already doing that. It's fine. There's nothing CorpSec would do.
War.
Yeah. There's nothing we would do to make that any different then. And maybe contact our hut broker.
Oh, we don't want the huts anywhere near one of these things.
Yeah, I don't know if him having any information of us.
Hmm.
No, this is gonna be our dance.
Yeah, it is. I just was cycling through options to see if I can't not bring the hut to the station. That's a bad idea. But see if they can
Oh, come on.
like kind of puppeteer them somewhere else.
Well, they're over in hut space right now. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's just not involve other people.
Yeah.
Captain is not a trusting soul.
No,
Gave
he
that
isn't.
away.
He is not a trusting soul at all.
The fact that he has to trust 4 other people eats him up inside.
Yeah.
Yeah,
5, really, because he's also trusting Roger.
that's fair.
Yes, but
And BL.
the thing is,
Well, BL
is
program, though.
is if Roger steps out of line, he can just reprogram Roger.
Roger is an
And
employee,
yet-
not property.
If Roger steps out of line, he will reprogram Roger and turn him into property.
The captain may be a horrible person.
Maybe.
I thought we'd been over this already.
Alright, so this crew puts their heads together and decides they are going to handle this themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no one to bring into this that might not cause more grief.
Mm.
Yeah.
About how long are we gonna spend in jump to get to where we're going?
Oh, I thought Jason froze for a second.
No, he looked at me like he was like, "Don't make me do math."
Well, travel in the nebula is a little bit slower.
Mhm.
But from where you're at now, you could be there in a week, let's say.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
So Ozen is going to use her time as efficiently as she can because there are a couple of things. She's already taught Ayer the basics to get him started. So what she's going to do then is she doesn't know whether or not her master was able to like force ghost or not, or if she can get a message from beyond. She's going to meditate and just yes.
Ozen would be unaware that force ghosts are a thing.
That's fair. Then she'll just meditate and just think.
Because all of your
It's
teachings
one of
would
those
have
things
been
where it's like
you become one with force, and that's it.
yes. Okay. Yeah, but if the force is in everything, then I can still make that connection in her mind. Anyway, she's going to try to make that connection towards her master and just try to get some sort of guidance.
Okay, so she's reaching out to the force for guidance.
Yes.
Is that an actual ability you're using, or just what she's doing?
That's what she's doing.
Okay.
As far as I know, that's not an actual ability.
All right. Does Doc or Keltzer have anything to have a 2 cents to throw into this?
Unfortunately, I can't really think of anything Doc would throw in except for maybe assisting, the captain with his programming endeavor. But other than that,
Okay. And Keltzer is okay with keeping everybody else out.
Is Kelter what?
Kelter's okay with the plan the captain's come up with, and about
Man.
not contacting any outside forces.
Yeah, because with everything that's been going on, Kelter don't either. Not really.
Okay.
You've got the hyper bureaucrats and hyper capitalists of the Corpsec, or you've got literally the bad guys. Like,
But
You can always reach out to somebody like the New Republic.
You've bred this mistrust of your NPCs into us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
over the course of like 6 years.
We haven't been doing it that long. This is what, our 4th campaign?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still, point stands. It's over 1,000 days.
So what I need to do next campaign is make all the NPCs completely trustworthy, and have one of y'all set up to be the traitor.
You said that during Scion.
But you didn't know. Wait.
Mm-mm-mm.
All right. So are you gonna spend that week traveling to the system?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'll keep looking through whatever information is in that thing.
And during that week, after the captain has got everything reprogrammed, he's gonna work on repairing the droid and getting it functional.
Okay. You get it up and going.
Okay.
You know, it's
Verbs bio.
just the you stripped out all the Imperial programming.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a baseline probe droid now.
Yeah.
Follow programming, meaning it doesn't trace back to it doesn't trace back to somewhere in the Empire.
Right.
Okay.
It's no longer broadcasting on Imperial frequencies.
Okay.
Like I said, it didn't have a tracking device. It was literally just broadcasting. Here I am. Here I
Mhm.
am. Here I am. Every so often.
Mm-hmm.
But you arrive in the system, just like it was described. Blue star. A couple of rocky worlds, but close enough to its star that there's probably no life on it. At least nothing compatible with yours. Y'all would not survive on the surface.
Mm-hmm.
I think Oza takes the painting and just like puts it over by where it is like measure by like at the cockpit. Just like look.
Well, yeah, I've got the precise coordinates, so you know.
Oh, I get it. She's just like, wow, that person really did a great job with this.
Now, this star does seem to have a lot of solar flare activity. It makes the sensors a little iffy.
Mm-hmm.
The closer you get to the star.
At least that works to our advantage.
Around one of those rocky worlds is a moon, and around that moon you see a station.
I need sensors for that.
Like I said, you had the precise coordinates, so even you don't see it until you're up pretty close to it. But
yeah,
it's got the same vague, you know, it's definitely got a strong resemblance to Center Point Station, though it's not quite as big. From the information you've got, it's larger than the mall station is, but you know, this one's still the size of of a moderate-sized city.
it's a big ass bitch.
Yeah, well, Center Point Station is basically a large city floating out there in space. So.
Yeah.
And then docking would be inside of it.
Yes.
Hmm.
Except, of course, that all the docks are closed.
Sure.
There does not seem to be a whole lot of light coming out of this thing.
All right. Well, how do we get it to open? What was that on the schematics?
We didn't get schematics.
Or not schematics. Was that in the information that we got?
Was that in the information we got?
No.
Nah.
You just knew your information on this thing basically stopped with where it was.
Okay.
It was constructed at the planet that y'all just left.
Mm-hmm.
And you knew this was the position that this is where it was being positioned at.
Did it say anything if moving it would disrupt, like, its functionality?
Yes and no. Shifting it around some would not be a big deal. If you went and dropped it on the opposite side of the galaxy, then there's an issue.
Alright.
So stashing it somewhere else in the nebula, not a problem. Stashing it somewhere else in the corporate sector, probably okay. Or any of the sectors just right next door, but going much further out than that.
So is this one of the Maw stations or the prototype station?
This is the
This is the
prototype.
prototype.
Okay.
This is basically a prototype of Centerpoint Station. But Centerpoint Station, the prototype, and the mall one are the three stations that keep the mall stable.
Oh, okay. Now I'm following.
How is Centerpoint Station just open?
Yeah, people have been living in there for ever and a day.
Okay. That's what I was getting at. That's what I was getting at. So
It took them a long time to get that level of control over Centerpoint.
Sure.
And they never have figured out how to use the big planetary hyperspace tractor beam thing.
Good. We have equipment to be off, right? Like to get off into space.
Yes,
like the spacewalk. That's the word.
Yeah, Io used it.
I remember Io used it. I wasn't sure how many suits we had.
I would assume enough for everybody in the crew.
I'll look at the captain and be like, light side, dark side.
Yeah.
You want to coast by by a door and see if like touching it or something will open it?
Can always try, I guess.
And we're gonna have to get real close up to that thing.
Or before we go anywhere, and he gestures to the droid he's repaired. Scout.
Just gonna do a lot of external scouting since all the doors are sealed. But sure.
Well, it's better to figure out where the door is, or how to potentially even get there.
Okay. So you gonna send out the scout droid?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You send it out. It finds what's clearly the hangar bay doors. It can scout around. The station has some windows, but they're basically shuttered.
Yeah.
It does not notice anything that looks like obvious weaponry on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any damage or anything to it, or like someone else has been noodling around with it?
Oh, somebody give me a search roll for new friend.
What's its dice pool?
Its search is 5 dice.
My search is better than its search. That's kind of depressing. I'll roll.
Well, it's got 8 dice for tracking specifically, but
So it has a specialty.
Yeah.
17.
okay. There is some expected wear and tear on the outside because it's been sitting here a long time. There's been a few, micro meteorite strikes, or the amount of solar radiation is getting hit with, isn't good for stuff,
Mm-hmm.
But it's in fine shape. However, the droid does find one docking bay door that has clearly been patched. Looking at it, it's like most of the door was cut out and then put back in at some point.
Great. The Jedi's have to do it now.
Hmm. So there's a chance that something is in the station.
Mayhaps.
Could be.
We can't really scan it because
Mm-hmm.
That would give us away.
that and just the stars making the equipment kind of wonky.
Hmm.
Oh.
It is good design.
So how are y'all gonna try to get into this station?
And all the stuff that we've picked up from them, from like the asteroid base and from the database that IO got, is there potentially a command that's like open?
Open sesame.
No, not really.
Have we tried broadcasting anything to the station?
Not yet. That's why I was asking.
Yeah, you,
Say
you,
if-
you don't have any specific commands, no.
I think it's not a bad idea. We don't know what's on the other side, if there is anything on the other side.
Yeah.
Is it putting out any signals?
It is not.
Does it have a frequency?
What do you mean?
I don't know. I assume if it has,
It's not currently broadcasting anything, so
right.
you have no idea what frequency it would broadcast on if it could.
We just get the equivalent of like a megaphone and just be like, "Hey guys, we're over here."
Well, you could broadcast over a very broad band, or several bands,
Could give it a shot.
Okay, so what do you say to him?
Just general greeting. I mean, if anyone is on the station receives this communication, please holler back. I don't know.
Open the door.
Start the game already.
Pizza time.
Pizza's here.
So you send just kind of a
FBI,
baseline
open up.
greeting.
FBI, open up.
You send a baseline greeting.
Mhm.
There's no response. Then several lights on your control panel light up as the Rubicon detects it is being scanned.
Similar to how it scanned from the other station.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, it is not accessing your computer per se. It's just giving you a good looking over.
Mm.
Make sure we pass the vibe check.
I don't know. Most of them seem like good people, but that captain looks a little squirrely.
By design, that's why we keep him.
Yeah.
And the closest docking bay to you starts opening up.
Vibe check passed.
I guess so.
This is a once in a lifetime opportunity.
He'll pilot the ship in.
Okay. As you just as the ship's starting to enter, some of the lights in the hangar bay start lighting up, and it's a large hangar bay. Think about Return of the Jedi. When Vader or the Emperor arrived, that big hangar they're in.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's something on that scale.
Okay. So huge.
Yes, quite large.
Gotcha.
There are no other ships parked in here, though.
Mm-hmm.
Wonder why.
And there's no cargo containers. It's just a big empty room.
Okay.
Well, big empty hangar.
Yeah.
You're not given
Guess
any.
we
You're not.
landed.
No one broadcasts to you any specific instructions on where you're supposed to park.
Mm-hmm.
Right there. Well, if there's no one else here, we can theoretically park as close to the door to like another door as possible, so as to like if we
Yeah.
have the hot exit, we get as close as we can get.
Okay. And there are several side doors,
Mm-hmm.
leading off from this one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he'll park somewhere.
Okay, you park over close to some of the doors.
Yeah.
There's been no communication with you. Like it scanned you and then it let you in. The big
Okay.
hangar bay door remains open behind you. You know, you got one of the force shields up to keep the atmosphere in.
Yeah. Hmm. Now what? He'll have the droid kind of follow them in and use its atmospheric sensors to see if the atmosphere here is sustainable.
Okay. So yeah, it drifts into the bay. Yeah, atmosphere is pretty standard. You know, it's fine for humans, Twi'leks, Duros, most of your species.
Okay. Well, we're inside.
We want to go poke stuff?
All this time finding a way to get here, and now we're all sitting here like, do we actually want to go in?
It's Finding Nemo. Now what?
Yeah.
Get off the pot. Let's go.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was gonna get
Yep.
off. Pretty much as soon as the probe is like, yeah, it's fine. Ozen gets off.
Okay.
Just morbid curiosity, I think getting the better of her right now.
Yeah, he'll have the probe come back in and just hang out with the ship as they get off, I guess.
Okay. Are you taking BL or Roger or R2 with you?
He'll bring BL.
Okay. He's happy to get off the ship finally.
Yeah.
I didn't know droids got sea legs.
You're a Jedi. You probably don't know much about droids.
I don't.
Their thoughts, their feelings, what they want in life.
Truly, I don't.
Mm.
All right, so everybody piles off the ship.
Yep.
Yeah.
So R2 is still on the ship, Roger is still on the ship, and now your probe droid is on the ship.
Yes.
And your loader droid. We always forget about the loader droid.
Loader droid is doing loader droid.
Until something heavy has to be picked up.
Yes.
I was just gonna be like, if anything squirrely happens with that door, or if anyone shows up, let us know immediately.
You get a Roger from Roger.
You're enjoying that.
Yeah. All right, you approach the first door.
Mm-hmm.
You know, little gesture on the pad next to it. The door opens up. The air is fine. It's maybe a little bit stale.
Breathable.
Yeah, and you can tell you can hear, some of the air stuff kicking on.
Sounds like an AC that's just turning on for the first time in like 2 years.
Yeah, you can tell the air is starting to circulate where before it probably just been shut and shut off.
Just start looking for interesting things. This is again, Tozen. This is a once in a lifetime opportunity, and this is coming at the twilight of her life. So,
for Oza, the hallways here remind you of Centerpoint Station. Just the general look and feel of it.
I haven't been on a place like this since I was a Padawan.
But you're walking down the hallway away from the docking bay.
Mm-hmm.
There's a few side rooms that look empty. Well, they were probably for storage if ships were coming in here. It's a pretty wide hallway, so you could, various loader devices could crisscross. Still no sign of anything living. You get a little bit further in, you hear a psst, and blast doors drop on either side of you.
Anything?
What's that now?
Anything? Is there anything there?
No, it just drops down and seals off your section of the hallway.
Oh, I see. Interesting. I don't want to reveal the lightsaber just yet. We might have to get these open, just in case.
Or it hasn't finished cycling the air, so it's sealing areas off where we might suffocate in.
That's it. It's only looking after you.
Yes, it has our best interests at heart.
So 5 or 10 minutes pass.
Mm-hmm.
And then both doors zip back up. And on either side of you, the hallway is simply full of Clone War era battle droids and super battle droids. One of them steps forward. Drop your weapons.
I was just gonna drop the pistol. Like, there's a lot more of them than there are of us.
Yeah.
There's a lot of you.
We have no intention of causing any trouble.
You'd better not. We're more trouble than you can handle.
This...
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, I found a bunch of your friends.
Well, and
Is
no, that's
BL
what
with us?
Yeah.
Yes,
BL is. This is
What's BL's doing?
these are more Roger's friends back on the ship.
That's true.
Well, BL
Well, was
was.
it?
I want to
I
say
thought
BL
BL was also Clone Wars.
BL was also built by the Genosians.
Yeah.
I don't think the Separatists used his model particularly. The Mandos used his model.
Mm-hmm.
If anything, they're going to shoot him first.
So anyway, does everybody put their weapons down?
Never had my weapon out.
I'm about to say Doc never had pulled out his pistol, so.
Yeah, the
Yeah, I don't think anybody had their were
weapons
holding
out
weapons.
now.
No, but some of you have obviously holstered weapons, so. I guess what I'm really
Did you bring your big fuck off sniper rifle?
No, honestly. He didn't think he'd need it in here.
Fix it. Say you're inside a giant station. A sniper rifle will not be your friend here.
Yeah, that's fair.
But
I feel like we
granted,
all have like small arms.
if y'all don't
Except-
resist, a couple of droids will step forward and kind of pat you down and take whatever weapon you've got.
Yeah.
Doc's not going to argue with them.
Okay. Captain, do you have your lightsaber on you?
No, he has his pistol.
Okay, well, they take your pistol. Ozen, do you have your lightsaber on you?
It does. I was gonna say I would like to attempt to have hidden it or have it like, but I don't know if that's gonna jive right.
Hmm.
I think especially after the first time the blast doors like closed, it's like, oh great.
So, yeah.
Yeah, the trick is you wouldn't have it too well hidden because you'd have it where you could get to it if you needed to use it.
Mm-hmm. Like if it's a no, it's a no. That's fine. They can snatch it, but.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Let me give him a search roll.
Sure. You want me to roll hide?
Yeah, go ahead and roll hide.
Not great.
Maybe you got at least got it disguised enough it doesn't just look like a lightsaber, you know.
Mm-hmm. It's probably what it is.
Disguised as a glow rod or something.
Yep. I'm not.
What did you get?
I rolled a 6.
Oh, well, it's probably.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's probably. I rolled 2 2s and 2 1s.
13.
Yeah, don't
Ooh.
make.
So yeah, it spots it, it yanks it off, and you're kind of this was a Jedi. Half of all the guns now turn towards Odin.
Okay.
Is there a problem that you have all of these guns on us?
Well, yeah,
I'm
we're concerned
certainly not
because
going to
one of the
argue
other droids shuts no, they don't ask questions, they answer questions. Carry them to the interrogation room.
This takes me back.
And that is where we will wrap up as they are marching down the hallways to be interrogated.
Mm.
Uh,
Gotcha.
Because it's like 5 kills, so.
Mm-hmm.
And this is as good a cliffhanger as we're going to find to stop
Mhm.
at. So, hope y'all had a good time. I enjoyed it. We've got 11 or 12 sessions left, like we were discussing beforehand. Which means a whole lot's got to happen on this station.
Oh God.
Hope anybody that comes by and watches this later enjoys it. Hope you'll come back next week. If you're looking for other games to watch, Jeremy, what do we got else? Yeah, what else have we got going on Diabear?
What else have we got going on? So tomorrow, I believe, is part 2 of the one shot that was being done. That was set several hundred years in the normal game False Colon Knights past. It is run by JT. Thursday is A Knight's Ransom with Pink Rambo. And then I don't think they're running Wild Beyond the Witchlight next Monday, but you can watch us instead on Tuesday. Remnant Shadow Star Wars Actual Play.
So come by and check us out then. We will see y'all later.
Bye.